Good day, everyone. Once again, this is Teacher June. Welcome to my channel. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos to come. In the last part of our previous tutorial video, I have given you this problem, meaning you are going to identify the three corresponding parts that are congruent and then determine whether the two triangles are congruent or not. Okay, so let us start with this. The first triangle is named triangle JKL, and the second triangle is named triangle MKL. So this one is JKL, and the second one is MKL. As you can see in this figure, there are two pairs of corresponding parts that are marked. So meaning it will be easy for us to identify which parts of the two triangle are corresponding parts or which part of the two triangles are congruent part. So therefore, we can give two statements with regards to sides. The first statement is that JK or side JK corresponds to side MK. Therefore, we can say that side JK is congruent to side MK. Next, corresponding sides, we have side JL corresponds to side ML. So therefore, we can say that side JL is congruent to side ML. How about the third pair of corresponding parts that are congruent? By simply looking at this illustration, we can obviously say that this part here of the triangle, this side KL of the two triangles, is actually a shared side, meaning this is part of the triangle JKL, and this is also part of the triangle MKL. So therefore, we can say that this part here is the third corresponding parts or the third congruent parts of the two triangles. So therefore, we can mark this one as the third congruent side to be congruent. We can therefore say that KL or side KL corresponds to itself, or side KL is congruent to side KL. So therefore, we can have the third side now, or the third pair of corresponding sides to be KL is congruent to side KL. And by the way, this is what we call the reflexive property of congruence, meaning this side here is congruent to itself. Tawag natin dyan ay reflexive property of congruence, wherein side KL is congruent to itself. So this time, we have three statements here saying that the three pairs of corresponding sides are congruent. Therefore, we can say that the two triangles, triangle JKL and triangle MKL, are congruent. Or triangle JKL is congruent to triangle MKL. By what means have we concluded that triangle JKL is congruent to MKL? By SSS postulate. Okay, so I hope marami ang nakakuha ng tamang sagot sa inyo. This time, we are going to proceed to the second triangle congruence postulate. As we can see, we are done with the SSS congruence postulate and we are down to SAS congruence postulate. SAS congruence postulate. Ano nga ba itong SAS congruence postulate? As we can see, SAS here stands for side, angle, side. So obviously, just like SSS congruence postulate, there should be three corresponding parts or three pairs of corresponding parts between the two triangles that should be congruent before we'll be able to say that the two triangles are really congruent. To understand this better, let us read this one. SAS Congruence Postulate. If two sides and the included angle of one triangle are congruent to the corresponding sides and included angle of another triangle, then the triangles are congruent. Ibig sabihin, ang condition po dito is that there should be two sides of the first triangle and one included angle of the first triangle that should be congruent to its corresponding two sides and included angle on another triangle. Okay, so before I give you examples on SAS congruence postulate, let us first understand what included angle is. Ano nga ba itong tinatawag nating included angle? Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Included angle. This is an angle between two sides. Meaning, ito yung angle between two sides, sa pagitan ng dalawang sides. Okay, let's take a look at these three triangles here. The two sides that are marked here are side IG and side HG. So these two sides here have an included angle, which is this angle. In the same way, side IG here and side IH are also marked. So meaning between these two sides here, the included angle is this one. Okay? So in the third triangle, side IH and side GH are also marked. So the included angle, meaning the angle in between these two sides, is this angle. Okay, so let us now identify what are or what is the included angle in each of the following triangles. In the first triangle, what is the included angle? The included angle is angle G. Angle G is in between two sides IG and HG. Okay, how about on the second triangle? What is the included angle in the second triangle? The included angle here is angle I. Why angle I? Because angle I is an angle in between the two marked sides. Ibig sabihin, yun yung angle na nasa gitna nung dalawang sides na may tick mark. And finally, we have the third triangle here. If we are going to identify the included angle, take note that the two sides that have tick marks here are side IH and side GH. So the included angle here is this angle. It is angle H, meaning this angle here is in between these two sides that have marks, or these two sides that have tick marks. Okay, so that's what included angle is. So I think we are ready to answer the following examples. Suppose we have triangle ABC and triangle DEF. As we can see, there are corresponding parts or pairs of corresponding parts that have tick marks on these two triangles. The first part here that have tick mark is side AB. So it's a side. Next is an angle. It's angle B. And another side, side BC. On the second triangle, triangle DEF, the parts that have tick marks are side DE. So it's a side. And then angle E, it's an angle. And another side, side EF. So therefore, we have side, angle, side. So we are sure that these two triangles here are congruent by SAS Congruence Postulate. Let us now enumerate the statements that would prove that the two triangles are congruent under S, SAS Congruence Postulate. The first corresponding parts here are side AB and side DE. So we can say that side AB is congruent to side DE. Second pair of corresponding parts are angle B and angle E. So we can say that angle B is congruent to angle E. And finally, we have side BC corresponds to side EF. Therefore, we can say that side BC is congruent to side EF. So these three statements here tell us that the two triangles are congruent based on SAS congruence postulate. So in conclusion, we can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. By what means we have proven that the two triangles are congruent? By SAS congruence postulate. Okay, so let's proceed to the second example. Suppose we have two triangles here. As we can see in the illustration, we have two triangles, and these triangles are named triangle BAR. This one is BAR. And the second triangle is triangle LKR. LKR. Take note nung pinangalanan natin yung first triangle from the side that has no tick mark going to the side that has two tick marks. So that is BAR. Dito rin sa second triangle, we will start from the side that has no tick marks. So from L to K, and then going to the side that has two tick marks. So we have L, K, R. So these are the names of the two triangles in our figure. Now, as we can see, there are two pairs of corresponding sides that are congruent. Can we identify another corresponding parts of these two triangles in which we are sure that those two corresponding parts are congruent? Makakapag-identify ba tayo ng congruent parts from triangle BAR and triangle LKR? As we can see, we have these two angles here. Okay, so this angle here and this angle at the right. These two angles here are what we call vertical angles. Bakit vertical angles? Because these two angles are opposite angles that are formed by two intersecting line or line segments. Ibig sabihin, pag meron tayong dalawang line segments that are intersecting, meron silang intersection, yung angles that are formed or yung opposite angles na na-form are actually what we call vertical angles. And the measurement of two vertical angles are congruent. Therefore, we can say that these two angles here are congruent. Okay, so let's mark it to be the third pair of corresponding parts that are congruent. So in this case, we have now three pairs of corresponding parts of the two triangles that are marked congruent. The first one is side BR, next is angle, and another side, side AR. So this is side, angle, side. On the second triangle, we have another side, angle, side. Okay, so let us now identify the pairs of corresponding parts by side, angle, side, or SAS congruence postulate. First pair of sides are side BR and side LR. Side BR corresponds to side LR, or we can say that side BR is congruent to side LR. Okay, so let's now have the second statement on included angles. So the included angle here is this angle. On the second triangle, this angle here is the included angle. So what is the name of this angle? This angle here is named angle BRA. Dito naman, this angle here is named angle LRK. So those two angles are corresponding angles. Therefore, we can say that angle BRA and angle LRK are congruent. And since these two angles here are vertical angles, so therefore we can say that angle BRA is congruent to angle LRK by vertical angles theorem because they are vertical angles. And the last statement is for the second side that are congruent. We have side AR is congruent to side KR. So we have here side AR is congruent to side KR. So this time we have here three statements saying that three pairs of corresponding parts, side angle, and side are congruent. Therefore, we can say that triangle BAR and triangle LKR are congruent. In conclusion, we have triangle BAR is congruent to triangle LKR. By what postulate? By SAS Congruence Postulate. Okay, so let's proceed now to our third and last example. We have here another two triangles as we can see in the illustration or as we can see in the figure. We have here triangle ABC and triangle CDA. The first triangle is triangle ABC. This one is A, B, C. And the second triangle is triangle CDA. So we have CDA. Take note kung paano natin pinangalanan yung first triangle. Dapat ganun din yung way ng pagbibigay natin ng name kay second triangle. Since we started here A, B, C, meaning from the point where the three line segments intersect, going to the side that has one tick mark, and finally to the side that has no tick mark. So we have A, B, C. Ganun din yung triangle CDA from the point where the three line segments intersect to the side that has one tick mark and to the third side that has no tick mark. Okay, so we have triangle ABC and triangle CDA. Now, can we identify three pairs of corresponding parts that are obviously congruent? Since side AB here and side CD has tick marks or has one tick mark, so meaning these two sides here are corresponding sides. And these two angles here are also corresponding angles. How about the third pair of corresponding parts? As we can see, this line segment here, side AC, is a shared side. Ibig sabihin ng shared side, it is being used to be a part of triangle ABC, and it is also a part of triangle CDA. So this one here is shared side. So meaning, we can say that side AC corresponds to itself, or side AC is congruent to itself. Or we can actually say that this part here is actually the third pair of parts that are congruent. Okay, so as we can see, we have here side, angle, side. So this is still under SAS Congruence Postulate. Can we give the first statement on the first pair of corresponding part? We have side AB corresponds to side CD. So we have side AB is congruent to side CD. And then next we have this angle here corresponds to this angle. What is the name of this angle? This angle is named angle BAC. And this angle here is named angle DCA. So we have angle BAC is congruent to angle DCA. Again, BAC and angle DCA. And finally, the third pair of corresponding parts are AC and itself, meaning AC corresponds to itself, AC is congruent to itself, or AC is congruent to AC, or side AC is congruent to side AC. So we have here three statements saying that two pairs of sides and a pair of included angles are congruent. Therefore, we can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA. By what means we have concluded that the two triangles are congruent? By what postulate? By SAS Congruence Postulate. And by the way, this part here is what we call reflexive property because this side AC, is congruent to itself, or this part here is a shared side. So it is reflexive property. Okay, so that's all for today. Again, God bless everyone and good day.